Hello there, my name is Klaus Hostel and I'm doing 100 innovation keynotes in 100 days. Today's number 87 and today is a very special day because today I want to talk about how to sell shit and overcharge for it with a smile in 10 easy steps. Now, full disclaimer, this is part of a bigger workshop that normally costs 5,700 euros. I'm giving it to you for free today as part of this keynote. But just so you know, it's part of a bigger thing, and that thing actually costs some money. With that in mind, let's dive into this. First off, step number one is you need to figure out what kind of shit do you want to sell. Do you want to sell this kind? For example, like artsy shit? Or do you want to sell this kind, like actual literal shit? Both are valid. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. But let's say you're going for number two, actual literal shit. Then you need to figure out, who do you want to sell that shit to? Do you want to sell it to somebody like this who might have a need for it? I Googled farmer under Creative Commons pictures and this guy shows up. So I guess he might have a need for shit, fertilizer, whatever you want to call it. He might be in that market. Or do you want to try to sell it to somebody like this guy who doesn't really seem like he needs shit and also directly says, I am not interested in your shit. Here, literally, he gives a reason that is hard to counter, which is, I'm too old for that shit. Now, sometimes you can fix the kind of the objections. You would say, oh, but what if I fix that? But making somebody younger, that's tough shit. So in this case, I'd advise on going for number one. Now, point number three, step number three is, what do you want to charge for that shit? Do you want to charge like a lot of money? Or do you want to charge not so much money? So here, if you want to overcharge, you can do it. Some things you can overcharge with, just with like a little money, but I would personally recommend charging a lot of money because it's easier to overcharge if you're really charging a lot, right? Simple math. Point number four, what do you want to do when you sell that shit? And this is pretty critical because remember, there were four things in the title and this is pretty damn critical. So listen up. So you can either smile when you are selling the shit, or you can frown, not smile. And I know at some point, some of you are like, but Klaus, this is just ridiculous. You're just giving us these like simple options. Like there's so much more. It's so complex. It's not just a matter of smile or frown. And I agree. Sorry, it's in the interest of making this fast because it is, again, part of a bigger, more complex workshop. And I'm going to give you an option three. You could also, for example, eat your phone while you sell the shit. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying, just so you know, there's like a buffet of options out there. Now, step number five, you choose how you want to get the shit done. You choose the order of things. This is super important because you might say first you get the shit, or you produce the shit, or you do the shit. Maybe you're like the shit producer, you know? And then you set a price, ridiculously high price. Then you find somebody who might just want to buy. And then when they do, you smile. That would be one way of ordering. Another step, number six, if it doesn't work, you try out some different shit. Maybe you find the potential customer first, then you say, this is the price, then you smile because they say, okay, I'll pay, and then you figure out how to actually get it done, how to get the shit. At this point, you can experiment a bit, you can just do some crazy stuff, like, I even want to say some crazy shit, but it's on the slide, so you get it. You could smile first and hope that nobody mentions or nobody notices that you're charging a crazy price, that the customers will come by themselves, and finally, then you figure out how to get the shit. Or you could play around with it. You could have fun with this stuff. You can try many different things. You could just charge a high price, and then you could get the shit. Then you could smile and hope that that cocktail will bring you the customer. Now, the important thing is, if the shit works, do more of it. Here's my personal favorite. It may not work for you, but this is my personal favorite. That first, you find somebody with a need. Some client, some customer, somebody who's like, you're sure they need what you have. Then you make sure you can actually deliver. You've got to get your shit together, right? You've got to be able to deliver, to execute, to get it out there. Then you smile. Then you show them, your friend, you're there. You're energetic, you have what it takes, you're their guy. And finally, you stab them with the price. You kind of slip it through their ribs, but then they're like all dazzled because you've got what they need. You're there, you're personable, you're likable. And then when you say, it's going to be pretty expensive, they're like, okay, whoa, okay, fair enough. That's my personal favorite. I'm not sure it works for you, but this is what I would recommend. And finally, step number 10. You should remember that I might just be full of shit. With that, I want to say Happy April Fool's Day 2021 and a little bonus info. I actually do charge 5,700 euros per day. Thank you.